Good morning, my friends. I hope this finds each and every one of you very well today. And if you've had a rough weekend, well, get right back on it and start with those fruits, berries, and melons and head on down that road. Keep pulling the lymph, cleaning yourself up, and rebuilding that body of yours. And oh, by the way, practice this week, stop thinking. This is another good week just to be. You know, you feel that in the ethers anyway, that everything is kind of collapsing and becoming one again. So, you know, it's just God awakening itself. And so I want to thank all of you for all your hard work, getting a lot of good responses. You Facebook people are rocking it out, man, rocking it out. So I'm going to go over some of these things. This is a question by Raederle, Phoenix. And she said, I've watched 4 of your videos and read an article of yours. This article, Dr. Morris, .com, miss, You state in the article that vegetables are an overdose of glucose. I've never wrote an article where I stated that vegetables is an overdose of glucose. I've never stated anything in that manner whatsoever. I consider glucose a simple sugar just like fructose, except a little more inferior for Homo sapiens. Works fine for herbivores, you know, your horses and your cows and your elephants. But vegetables do not work well with humans. If you haven't had that opportunity to discover that yet, get up on a fruit diet like a lot of the YouTubers here and experience that high level of fruits, berries, and melons, keeping in mind quality, you know, but just strap on the difference between the two. Now, for some of you that are very toxic, very acidic, fruits can be rough in the beginning, no question about it. And sometimes we walk through the vegetable kingdom on the way to the fruit grove. That's okay. Nobody's out there with a club over anybody. You know, this is about you, your self-discipline, your desire to be well. If there is a desire to be had, that would be it, I would think, to be well and dynamic and God-absorbed. So I have never made that statement, and you went to a lot of work here, and I really don't care in terms of fructose versus glucose. I really don't look at that at all. I look at other factors within the fruits, you know, higher flavonoids, higher astringents, just the power of it all, the magnetics of it all. Fruit is just far, far superior. And I want to do a whole thing on protein with you. And I wanted to kind of get an outline so I can go down through it. Other than that, I'm just going to be pulling it out of my head because someone made a question here about another question about protein again. And why is meat so bad for you? And again, we're talking about something that's putrefactive as opposed to something that ferments. It's a big difference between putrefaction and fermentation and the chemicals released between the two. On the other hand, you have a high nitrogen phosphorus source versus high calcium magnesium sources. So your chemistry is unbalanced to that of all the other chemistry on the planet. Chemistry of an effect of chemistry. When you eat meat, that's an effect of chemistry. When you eat fruits and vegetables, that's the causative of chemistry. In other words, you're eating the substance that creates the meat, so to speak. And so why would you go to the meat? Why would you have to rewind that? Think giving all the digestive process problems, the need of hydrochloric acid, the need of bicarbonate, then that whole need of the body to break tissue apart and get it down to the amino acid stage. It makes no sense when you're consuming amino acids in their more simplistic form. It's a less protein structure. Fruits and vegetables are the least protein structures of life, and yet the strongest animals eat them. So you have to understand also from a chemistry viewpoint, you have some calcium, but you have far more phosphorus and a nitrogen source, higher amino acids than you do carbon. Well, carbon is the main need, not amino acids. This isn't a nitrogen planet. This is a carbon planet. Even though nitrogen rules the atmosphere, it's about neutral anyway. But it can, in concentrated growths, create acidosis, and that's just what's happened in amino acids and things like this. there's some need of that. But these people, I don't know why so many people are afraid of sugars. It's amazing, and how people make these things so complex and yet they're simplistic. The body cannot handle complex chemistry of any sort. So, complex sugars is what? Not glucose. Complex sugars is starch. That's di and polysaccharides. If you're a nutritionist, your body can't use these. Everything's broken down into simple sugars. Just like all fats are broken down to fatty acids and proteins down into amino acids. Why in the world would you waste your time breaking all the complex chemistry down, losing a lot of energy? Desire would be the only reason, because there's no intellectual, or there's no science. There's nothing behind the reason you would eat it. And it's a far food from the frugivores. I mean, as a more primate species, as the Homo sapien is. If you look at a carnivore, they have a very smooth GI tract, very short, because they're probably sleeping about 20 hours while the meat is in there breaking down. And their hydrochloric acid is much stronger in terms of, it probably has more of a 1.8 or a 1.6 factor, pH factor, because it will break down bones. You'd think hydrochloric acid has similar factors, but our hydrochloric acid hasn't got the power that a lion's hydrochloric acid does. So however that is, it's been a lot of years since I even tore into this, so it's not an overdose of glucose. I don't know where you got that, and if you read an article where I stated that, then someone wrote it, because I never said that in my entire life. I don't even consider that a factor in life, is that there's more fructose or less fructose. I said the utilization of fructose is such easier than glucose. The non-need of insulin, no matter what you read. You can see that. You know the liver doesn't take an inferior simple sugar and convert it to a superior simple sugar. That'd be stupid, because it's already there. It's already present. So you have to break down some of these myths and some of these theories that don't quite hold water. Again, and that's also very much true in chemistry and biochemistry. Those that don't believe that, just start studying or get your degree and you'll see. A practice of feeding horses more calcium than phosphorus in order to have stronger muscles and bones for racing is standard as an example where this practice is particularly observed. I've done a lot of calculations in order to learn for myself which foods have more calcium and phosphorus. Why worry about it, sweetheart? I mean, why go to all this trouble? Because you have to take care of three phases before you can make this statement that you're looking for foods that are higher calcium and things like this. That's time consuming and really a waste of time, actually. Your focus should be on, do you digest, do you absorb, do you have malabsorption, which is a lymphatic problem, and what would be the third thing you have to consider in health? The utilization of nutrition, not what the plants have in them. We need very little nutrition. We're not one of those that needs mega nutrition. If you look at all the other animals, they're not either. It's all about, do you digest your foods properly? Do you absorb your foods properly? And the third, final, do you utilize? Now, what does utilization of nutrition mean? It means that you have to have a hormone or steroid present to have proper utilization. So you can go and think about, I want foods like this and stuff, but you first have to get the patient healthy, because they have to be able to digest, absorb, and utilize. And then where everybody's falling down is the elimination of the wastes of that chemical metabolism, that chemical respiration, that chemical processes of activity. You've got to do that. And searching the world over for foods, we already know which foods are superfoods. If you weren't taught in your nutritional class, sorry for that. But we already know the foods that are high in phosphorus. Get the composition and facts about foods from Ford Heritage here. That's a good book. It has already done all that, and you'll be able to look all through the foods and see who's high in calcium, who's high in phosphorus, who's high in iodine. Beautiful book. Composition and facts about food, something like that. Get it in here by Ford Heritage. Good book, old book. Or just eat seaweed, then your answer's already there. You don't have to really go looking too far. This would imply that the real reason fruits give some people bad teeth is a lack of calcium due to too much phosphorus. That's not true. Fruits are not high in phosphorus. I don't know where you got that, but fruits are actually the opposite, higher in calcium than phosphorus and very low on both. Because it isn't how much, and especially when you get into elementals. Because I don't know if you studied this, but there's another phase from elementals, and that's called salts. So study your salts, but in reality, you're trying to make this an intellectual game, and it's just not. But I appreciate this. No, not coming down on you or nothing. What do you consider an ideal ratio of calcium to phosphorus? And how oh man, now you're asking me to pull back into those days. I can't tell you. You know what? I just have gotten out of that intellectual thinking, and that's what happens with nutritionists and with the intellect, is that you get caught up in that. I can only tell you that when you look at a chemistry of a food that you're going to consume, it needs to be about 80% base chemistry, meaning it has to be about 80% calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium, etc. It can have about 20 to 30% acid factors, and that's going to be your phosphoruses and your irons and your zincs and things like that. I don't care what the FDA recommends. To be honest with you, I could care less. You're trying to reason out and become a nutritionist, and that just doesn't get it. We don't play that game at all here. And thank God, because man keeps playing the intellectual game. And take a look around at where man is in his health, and that's a synopsis of his intellectualism. His ideas on biochemistry, his ideas on nutrition. Just look at the American Dietetics Association and what they've done to the human race. This is a major crime. They push foods that they know are not nutritious. They know these things. If they don't, why would they even be called the American Dietetics Association? Remember I told you on Eye on America, I saw the man that wrote the book on milk just chew up the top of the American Dietetics Association. She was so stupid. She didn't have a clue. He chewed her lunch. And that's the thing. These people don't have it. If you're trying to apply what we think in chemistry and physics to known health, you're seeing that. You're seeing a world of that. Even naturopaths can't cure. I mean, that's pretty bad when naturopaths are caught up into this intellectual game of vitamins and minerals and all this stuff. If you naturopaths out there are listening to this, if you drop that thinking and you move over to this side of the fence, you'll cure your clients up so much you won't even believe it. So, sweetheart, my message to you is get out of the intellectual game. You're trying too hard. If you want something high in nutrition, go to the superfoods, alfalfa, kelp, things like that. But these aren't phosphorus foods. These are calcium, magnesium foods. They're not high phosphorus foods. Are you kidding? Those are more your nuts, your proteins, things like this. I will say that vegetables are going to have a little more phosphorus than even fruit. Matter of fact, I thought, of course, it'd be an old one if I had it here. We've got them new out in the lobby. Facts about composition and facts about foods by Ford Heritage. Got it somewhere. Sorry about that. Now, this is Laura. Thank you, sweetheart, for your comment. I have a question about my eyes. I have significant white arcus above each eye. Ooh. I notice that in many people you can see their whole iris, whereas with mine the top portion is naturally covered by my upper eyelid. I am Asian. Do you think this has anything to do with it? Well, it could be. And it could be, you know, different traits come through. If you feel like you have a prolapsed eyelid, of course, you're going to go to your parathyroid. If it's naturally that way, because I have kind of squinty eyes myself in the way it is. But if you have white arcs on the top of the iris, that's not good. White arc, which we call arcus senilis, would be a cholesterol plaque, meaning that your head, your sinuses, your head is lymphatically not going anywhere fast, and therefore all the acidosis is met with cholesterol there, and you're having that problem. So this would be serious, that you would want to get upper circulation and then honk on the GI tract. Remember, clean the trunk of the tree. Head just represents the top of the tree, and the trunk, got to clean the trunk. And that's the gut. And then you clean up the kidneys and adrenals at the same time, getting that lymph to move. Drain that head. breathe in 3 lung tea, whatever you want to do to open up and start moving, get a high fruit diet and stuff, and really get that moving. Here you answered it right here. Also, I have allergy sinus issues. Yeah, that's lymph, and more lymph. Even when I am all raw, mostly fruit, it seems I can consistently have issues. Well, you know what? It's a bit of a trip. Fruits don't take away symptoms. I mean, they can, but they can give a lot more because they're detoxifiers. I mean, you gotta plan on that. And plan on, some of the symptoms that can be had with that. And especially a good cold and flu-like symptom would be really cool, because that really will clean your sinuses out and take pressure. Candle your ears too. 3 or 4 candles per ear always does help to clean take that pressure out of there too. Because you don't want anything like Arcus anything like that. Keep yourself up here fit anyway. And work on that. Even when all raw, I know it is better for all to come out, but why do I feel like I am missing something? I have been doing herbs for 5 weeks, and before this I took them for a month. I am starting to think it is more emotional. Lori, well, Lori, it could be, honey. Yeah, there's those other levels to this. There's the emotional levels. You're right on there, and that's going to be tied to your adrenal glands. Well, guess what? That sits on top of the kidneys and controls the kidneys. So, you got to look at that. That if you're having a little anxieties, you're a little more emotional person, then you know that you have a little more weakness in the adrenals, and therefore the chances of the kidneys not filtering the lymph is there, and of course then you're seeing the lymphatic problems here, and you just have to drain that out and get that moving, get that cholesterol out. It'll come right out, sweetheart, when you move your lymph. Now this is a rather long one, and apologize for that, but this is a young lad that was on 3 years of anxiety meds. And I'll say to you, my friend, that is horrible. These meds are bad news bears. And, they just don't get it. But, with that said, this guy's been on 3 years of anxiety meds. He's been fasting a little bit. His parents are kind of on him a little bit. They don't understand what's going on. He's running low blood pressure. His focus is good. Endocrine gland, brain and nerve, adrenal, glandular, licorice, single, 1 raw pituitary, parasite M, pancreas, lymphatic 1 caps, and heal all T. Don't forget a kidney formula in there. You need a kidney. I don't see a kidney formula in there, man. There you go. With some wild kidney herbs like nettles, cleavers, plantain, horsetail. Good, Danla. Good. I am going to get on the liver capsules, okay. Let's see, I have an ultrasound next week and an appointment with a gastroenterologist. Well, just be careful, go clean your bowels out. Get on stomach and bowel number, whichever one you need. Take the GI broom, clean the liver, clean the pancreas, and then just rebuild. Because the bottom line to health and well-being is clean out the physical body like you would rebuild a car motor. Clean it up, get all the soot out, get all the mucus out, as much as you can anyway. All the obstructions, all the heavy metals, neurotoxins, blah, 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 blah. That's what detox is. And in that process, the hydration and rebuilding of tissue starts to take place. And it's just that process. There's nothing more complicated than that. And the thing is, and I feel these nutritionists, and I really appreciate her and what she's done here, but nutritionists typically get caught up in that. And don't make life too hard. You're making too much out of nothing, and you'll pull your hair out. Because it's all good. It's all good, But you're trying to mix that protein consciousness into that. And it's like that's man's biggest downfall is he's like a pit bull. He can't let go of that protein consciousness. And he needs to. Because until he does, he's going to keep driving himself into the ground, because that's the main food that's drove man into the ground. Just take a look at where the human species is, and we're a product of what the thinking of science has been to date. We're a product of that. We're a product of our society, our scientific minds. We're a product of that. How healthy is the human being? 5 people and 4 have cancer. This is the point. What we've done, what we've been educated, what we've been taught to this point has all been lies. They don't work. They're not true. The concept of the diseases, that whole concept, illusionary, ridiculous. Those that treat diseases will never find their cure. They'll never find their remedy because they're traipsing in forests far away with no light or map. This young lad's going to give copies of the Grape Cure and show his parents, and I would let him see the YouTube too. I'm still going through a healing crisis. Cold and flu, body aches, have months and months worth of botanicals. Hopefully I have chiseled off some serious lymph stagnation. I need to build back. Now look at some of this healing crisis. Pee was always dark yellow and looked like a snow glob in the bottle. Whoa! Boy, did you move a lot of lymph. Boy, that was good work, my man. Is this a male? I don't even know. Hope I'm bugging. Yep. Skinny. You are skinny, my lad. And so, probably you can see a little liver over here. Clean up that liver, clean up that gut. You'll be in good shape. You're doing really good, man. Real proud of you. Burning eyes. My glasses don't work mid-range anymore. Burning eyes. That's how acidic you are. When your eye fluid is acidic, it'll start burning you. Anything that's acidic burns. So that's good that you're getting that out of there. You don't want to keep that in there. And that gives you a clue to why you get cholesterol plaquing, why you get macular degeneration, why you get cataract, which is cholesterol, why you get wrinkled retinas, detached retinas. This is why you see the deterioration of the cell is through the lymph, the acids. And that's just what you're seeing here. Orange, fishy smelling, watery diarrhea, mucousy, intense sickness, diarrhea feeling when I needed to go. Well, your body's purging, son, and that's just what you need. That's just how you get through this. This is how you get well. This is what your gastroendocrinologist should say is, hey, detoxify and clean that bowel out. Clean that liver out and pancreas and rebuild them. That's what we all should be saying. But no, we're chasing rainbows and proteins and sugars. Disease symptoms, stomach, burning, intense, and never went away. See, now he's got a real burning in the stomach. So could we safely say we see burning in the eyes, we see burning in the stomach, we know he's malabsorbed, look at him. So what can we say here? Interstitial, lymphatic, constipation. Absolutely. Absolutely. He's burning from the inside out. And I've said this before, this is the worst burn there is. This isn't a GERD. They can throw all they want into GERDs, but there's two GERDs that shouldn't be in there, and that's one, interstitial lymphatic constipation. That's not a GERD. And two, sulfur. And look at this orange, feces, smelly stuff. He's got sulfur in the gut. Probably blocking malabsorption. His parents gave him antibiotics when he had lymphatic problems instead of detoxifying. They didn't know any better, probably, as mine did not. But mine did not give, we did not take antibiotics much in our lives. We just never did that. Farmers don't waste their time with that sort of thing. You blow through it. Disease, let me see here. Left leg paralysis. Whoa! Wow, 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 wow. Probably lower back kidney. Tell you the truth there. Nervous system. Left adrenal gland. Look at that. Sore throat. Yeah, look at that one. Ravaged with body and bone aches. This is good detox, ain't it? Rib and chest pain. Whoo-hoo! That's not good. But it just shows you, man, you're really acidic, my friend. This is, you're doing just what you have to do to survive and get well and get this stuff out of here. Metallic taste in mouth. Ooh, who knows? Fillings, who knows? You never know. But not good. That's, get all that out of that body. That's why, you see how beautiful detox is? Because there's nothing else out there that gets this stuff out of you. That's what this process is. Oh, this is bad. Brain burning all around the lower back of the head. That's all back here in the cerebellum. Oh, yeah, you're backed up. Your bowels, you have malabsorption. I can tell you already. I've seen so many people in my life got malabsorption, dude. You just got to really clean that lymph and get those kidneys and adrenals up. That'll get to the lower back. That'll, start building the nervous system, and any temporary paralysis should move yourself away from that. Seen that before, so don't freak out on that one. And look, 3 years of antidepressants. This could have chewed on his stomach, burned his stomach bad. I mean, this is Real serious problems. Fatigue getting out of bed was a chore, so did a real adrenal crash there. Thick white mushroom coating on tongue, layers of skin falling off. Extreme boredom and irritability, kidney pain, no doubt on that one, my friend. That would be that's obvious, and it shows you have very weak kidneys, which is really responsible for the whole 9 yards of everything you're telling me here. Fever, testicle pain, hunger, bags under eyes, teeth have gotten stronger, hair looks healthier. There you go. Liver pain and pancreas pains, heart palpitations, and insomnia. Woohoo! That was a hell of a detox symptom. Man, generally you don't have that many together. And this is what he looked like after the fast. Kind of lost a little bit of weight. You know what's hard is it's hard for people to understand that there's a process of waking up, realizing where we are, and then fixing things. It's just a process. And I think people are so tied into the treatment-based thinking concepts that they're totally lost when someone's actually rolling up their sleeves and applying the God laws of health and wellness and actually working their body back into it. And then the family gives them plaque and everything else, and it's like, oh, here we go. You know, you all stand up. You all are high spiritual souls. You stand up for what you know is right and what's true, and you work your own body out. I've seen a lot of mates kill their mates. I've seen a lot of people die because their mates pushed them into chemo or something else, and then that's it. So they didn't make the 6% that survived chemo up to 5 years. They didn't make that 6%. So I think you're doing good, my friend. I really do. I think you pushed through. I think you really kicked your body, probably detoxed too fast. But everything you've got here is all detox symptoms, and they're all part of that. Even the left leg paralysis. That could be interesting about the pain in the kidney if it wasn't more left-sided. Testicles just tied to that, prostate. I mean, you really start shaking your body. I'd back up a little bit, though. Do some green drinks. Put yourself on some grapes and stuff like that. And then hit it again. Do another grape fast. And then come back, balance out with a few salads and some greens for a few weeks or a month, and then hit it again. Keep hitting it, keep hitting it, keep opening that doorway. Get a stomach and bowel, GI broom. Get in there and get that extra help to help you overcome these things. But beautiful load of Healing Crisis. This is for you Facebook people. See all that? That's all Healing Crisis. But see all the acids that he's got? Burning eyes. He's got that orange, fishy smell. That's all high sulfur, high antibiotics, nasty. Mucus in the stools tells you big time malabsorption. You can look at him and see it. So how are you going to make someone put on muscle and be healthy if they can't absorb their nutrition? And it's the same thing we're looking in as nutritionists. It's like take the nutritional degrees, put them on the wall, honey, and go out and get an herbal and a detoxification degree, and I'll show you how to really cure people and to save yourself a lot of mental power. Of course, some people dig on using the mind, and that's okay. You'll swing back around here someday. But oh yeah, metallic taste in the mouth, brain burning. So a nice bunch of Healing Crisis there. But through your Healing Crisis, you can see where you're suffering and why you're suffering. You're very acidic and your body's showing it. When you see a body thin and deteriorated, that is acidosis. And this young man's burning eyes, burning all this. Of course, his parents didn't understand growing up. So we need to change that with our kids. This is from Robert. Hey, Robert, love you too, my friend. He previously posted a question about his sister's recent incident and bacterial endocarditis, which he has a 3-week stay in the hospital. You cleared things up pretty nicely. I hope you understand about the lymph system. And, they talk about staph and strep. Everybody's full of staph and strep already. Come on. I mean, they just make things like, whoa, new, they've been there, let me tell you. Forgot to tell you she was born with heart conditions called drum roll. Now, I passed national boards. I did a lot in cardiology, and I've never heard of a drum roll in cardiology. Never heard of it. But then, a double outlet right ventricular and pulmonary stenosis. Well, double outlet, I don't know what the heck that is. Never heard of that even. Right ventricular, whatever that double outlet right ventricular, you got two ports coming out. I don't understand that. And a pulmonary stenosis. Well, stenosis, of course, is calcification, so to speak, and of course that means acidosis. Anytime you're leaching calcium, it's acidosis. And what creates acidosis? Your acid site of chemistry, phosphorus. You know, all of the acid site of chemistry. Phosphorus is the little brother, not the big brother. I don't know where one would learn that phosphorus was the big brother. That's probably allopathy. And that's why allopathy fails, and fails quite miserably. I mean, we're going to have serious problems. Basically, she was born with two leaks in her right ventricular and narrowing in her pulmonary artery. Well, you can correct both of those things. I know they probably already sewed up the leak, but I would really strengthen my connective tissue. I'd go to the parathyroid gland and make sure that she's, I'd work on that parathyroid a little bit. At the same time, you're going to move to things that are more raw, things that are more healing. You're going to move lymph in this little girl, because if she's got pulmonary stenosis at this age, if she's a small young child, that's scary. Because that shows that what's coming, because this is just high acidosis already. But haven't we been talking about that? Isn't this something that we see constantly, those of you that are looking? And this is what we're seeing in the young people. She's 24 now. Oh, good. A couple of months ago, she had a nasty run-in, made nastier with bacterial endocarditis. This is about her lymph system. She is not moving her lymph system. She needs to get in and move her lymph system, or more things are going to happen at an early age. And this sweet thing's only 24 years old now. And so you need to check her parathyroid before she starts having kids. If she starts having kids and she has a parathyroid weakness, then she could lose a lot more calcium. Then you start to see more valves go and more problems that way. So I'm just really, and the fact that she has a fever 104, good. I like 104 fevers. Adults generally hang around 103, okay, but don't try to stop the fever. That's your body trying to expectorate, trying to open the door. And this is important that people learn this, that she's got to open the door and clean her lymph system, or it's not in the heart that she's having congestion, it's in the lungs. Well, it's not just in the lungs, she's going to have it in the brain. Well, it's just not in the brain, it's going to be... Why? Because this is a systemic problem. This is a problem of the lymph system that rules head to toe. You're just seeing symptoms in her weaker genetic areas, heart, lungs, pulmonary. Well, let me tell you, you're going to see her lymphatic problems all over. Early fibrocystic breast, tumors, lung. I mean, just keep on going. Ovarian cysts, uterine fibroid. You just keep on going down that lymphatic stagnation road. And that's what this poor thing looks like she's had. Don't everyone panic with the fever. You know what amazes me? We need to pass out some of these old How to Get Well books. How about the old Jethro Kloss books? Let's bring old Jethro Kloss back, pass out one of these books to every household in America, and read about fevers. I mean, come on, people, quit panicking about fevers. It's a natural process of the human body to what? Why what? What are you trying to do with the fever? You're trying to dilate what tissue? The skin. Why? What value does the skin play? It's your third kidney. Well, what role does the kidneys play? Just to pee out water? And no! Cellular sewage. And of course they put her on antibiotics, probably Cipro, that'll kill her. A weekend she had what appeared to be an allergic reaction, that's probably Cipro. You know, some people need, I was put in ICU for a couple of days. I just wanted to confirm that her condition is reversible. Condition is very reversible. But you got to roll up your sleeves and understand the lymph system and why stenosis. What creates the pull of calcium out of connective or bone tissue? What creates that? What creates hardening? Then it isn't base chemistry. It's phosphorus chemistry. It's acid chemistry. Oh, too much sugar. Oh. Also, an update in my progress. I just finished up the remaining next to nature gliders I was on. Adrenal 160, pineal and parathyroid. Definitely felt the difference, but still not out of the dodge yet, especially with my adrenal glands. Try our new adrenal formula. She still has dark circles under my eyes and tired way beyond my liking. Low blood pressure, yeah, that's your adrenals, all right. Try the new raw glandulars we have in from New Zealand. They are good. I will say that. Been hard to get them, but we got them, so that's good. But you know that's your adrenals, and then of course the kidneys, then it flips back to the lymph system again. Wish you could have tried the stronger ones you got. Oh yeah. Anyway, I've been taking fresh ginger and organic kelp powder. That's good. Let's see, what are the best herbs I can take to pop up my adrenals? Well, your Siberian ginseng, I think you're on them. Licorice, of course. You know, you got borage. You've got, you got a lot of things. Borage. Let's see what else. Gosh, of course your parsleys and your dandelion greens. But they're all good. And there's nothing any stronger, of course, when you're really down than the raw glandulars. You mailed your detox specialist exam over a week ago. We'll see how you do, my friend. I never thought I would enjoy taking another test. I didn't think it was too bad, considering if you know your subject, you'll pass that test quite well. And I need to get in there and home it up a little bit. Maybe I'll add some more questions to it and home it up again. Although it's got as many questions as most board exams do. Thanks again, Robert. See Jennifer for anything there. Now, I want to thank YTG5016211. Thank you very much for your comments. I appreciate you too. So thank you for your loving comments. I thank all of you for your loving comments. You know, I consider it's just one people trying to get everybody well. And we need to all get happy. All these poor souls fighting for their rights and freedoms around the world. It's amazing. You know, after a while you get tired of a warring planet, you know. It's like, holy crap. Organic Superman. Here it is. What is the problem with consuming meats? Wild organic, yeah.
You have a visitor?
I do?
Sit with you.
Oh, I got a visitor coming in? Oh,
Okay.
hey!
Hello.
How are you? Little astral traveler, you?
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm just in the mood of filming. Come in.
Okay.
I'm doing good.
Good?
See ya.
Yeah, it's good to see you. How are you?
Pretty good.
Well, pull up a chair. I'm in the middle of filming a video today.
Cool.
Cool beans. How you been doing?
Good. Just lots of traveling. Drove across the U.S. basically. to
Did
get to
you?
Florida.
Drove across the U.S.?
Yeah, from the Midwest, Kansas.
Wow, Kansas. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah.
cool. Oh, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, this is like Mecca for me.
Where are you staying?
We were staying in Naples for a day, but
Oh, yeah.
for now we're gonna get a hotel somewhere in this vicinity once I get it figured out.
Check the Sarasota beaches.
Mm.
Siesta Beaches won the Traveler Channel's,
Yeah.
#1 beaches for years. It's
Wow.
just fine powder, white sand.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sarasota's a higher consciousness town.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, you're not in that. You want to say hi to everybody?
Sure. Hello, YouTube.
Yeah, scoot over here. Just say hi. I don't know what the range is
Yeah. That's good.
there. Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. All right. So this is Organic Superman talking about what the problem with consuming meats, wild organic meats. I mean, this stuff has kept the human race alive, but it's also deteriorated the human race. I mean, we are a product of this. Just stop and look where we are. Look at where our diets have been, and everybody wants to keep going back to the same diet that gets everybody sick. I want to go back to eating dead animals again, and their milks. You know, I will say this though: if you eliminate all dairy products out of your lives and still ate meat, you'd be definitely a step up. That's for sure. You know, you could still have a little meat in your life, and high fruit and high veggies, and you could still plow and have a good life here. Now, come on, this is just creation. You're here, you're short time visiting. So, but if you want dynamic health and you want to touch that Wellville, I suggest you dump the dead stuff. And then go back on it. Hit Wellville first, and then try to go back on it and see how your body likes it. Then get yourself really healthy, and then go back and try to eat it and see how your body responds to you on that. Wild organic meats, still dead tissue, still high phosphorus food. Still complex aminos. So you have your peptides, polypeptides. You have a whole complex structure there. You have a putrefactive structure, as I said earlier on the video, as opposed to a fermentative structure. Big difference. This is our reasons a mile long. You know what I'll do, Organic Superman? I'm going to sit and make you up a list. And this list should do everybody good. This is from Jeff. Hey, man, what do you recommend for detoxing sulfur? Well, I don't know. I mean, we were playing, someone said that asparagus root works well. Well, we're going to find out. I can tell you that I have medical friends that are looking into it themselves. And as I've said before, nobody's come up with a solution. I think it's the whole process of hydration and the process of detoxifying high astringent foods. You notice sulfur does break up and come out. But in this long-term stagnation, you have this acid medium, and in a long-term acidic medium, depending on pH variances, and remember we're back to 3 pHs, you're going to see coagulation, and you're going to see hardening, and you're going to see that whole process of the body becoming hardened and dehydrated. And that takes a while to break all that up, and that includes the sulfur in the mucus and stuff. So it just takes a while to start that hydration, that anionic process or cationic process to move lymph. And I don't know, we might come across something. So when these new formulas come out, I put a couple things in there. Hopefully we'll see what happens. Maybe we can get to where we can strip sulfur out of people quicker. You know?
That'd be amazing.
That'd be a really nice move. I think it'd be the cat. This is where we need to focus on natural things that do that, and things that we can get people well again.
Yeah.
Instead of the chemistry there. Let me see. My name is Helder, Helder. I am Portuguese. I know that Dr. Morris had a clinic in Portugal, so I would like to know if he trained anyone here in Portugal. What's my schedule this morning?
You have 2 follow-ups this morning.
2 follow-ups this
11,
morning,
yeah.
10 and 11.
Yep.
What's 10? Phone or here?
I think they're both phone. Pretty sure
Okay.
they're phone.
Well, the 10 o'clock, let's make like till 15 after, because I'm going to cut this at about 10, and then I got to write it up so he can get it up on.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Baptista. He was the senator of Portugal for a number of years, and then he runs the School of Biology and Science, has his own schools there. Professor Baptista. That's in Lisbon. So you can see, I don't know how much he got of this. We'll see. I did fill his daytimer up for 2 years straight. But try that, dear one, and see. Professor Baptista, the ex-senator and naturopath. This is from Chantal. P.S. I love iridology. I love iridology too. I do. I think it's such a simple science that everybody can learn. And boy, you got your map right there. And you got your tools, you got your diet, and you got your herbs. So you got your tools, you got your map, and your journey is complete. And it needs one thing else. That's you to walk down it. There's a point where you have to apply, and that's what I love about all you guys. You're applying it. I love that. Hello, I am a 27-year-old female from Canada. Thank you so much for your videos. Thank you so much, Chantal, for watching them and applying this for yourself. They have helped me tremendously this past year. I was watching your latest video, and you were talking about the antibiotic Cipro. Oh, but do I ever. I had to email you. I was given Cipro last year in the beginning of June for a UTI and had such a terrible reaction. Cipro is an antibiotic that is well known to cause blood clots, strokes, and heart attacks and death. And yet they give it out like candy. Still do. And it killed that last lady with anthrax. You dig that up, you'll see that. And yet they still give it. It's like they don't care if it kills people. Here, they don't care. It's not killing that many people. Oh. Well, we're overpopulated anyway, right? This is the World Health Organization. These are the people that we trust to control everything, isn't it? I don't know.
It's disturbing.
Yeah, it's disturbing. It's very disturbing. It's disturbing that man's consciousness is wallowing in the mud like pigs get. And that's why our government's wallowing in the mud. They can't even look at each other. They're just confused little kids. It's hard to describe the symptoms, but some of the reaction was extreme panic attacks. Never had them before. Vertigo, dizziness. God, that's scary with Cipro. Where's our justice system? The worst part is the doctors won't believe me that it was the antibiotic. Well, take the PDR, rip out the page on Cipro, and shove it in his face, and tell him if he's got glasses, read. God. You know what? People just start looking at medical doctors who they really are, it'll make a big change right there. instead of the gods that they think they are. Take a look at the ignorance and who they really represent here. They don't represent God, dear ones. The worst part is the doctors won't believe that. I went to about 15 different doctors, and I say, "Oh no, I have been watching your videos, and I'm on herbal formulas, eating raw foods, and have been working on my kidneys, adrenals, bowels, lymph." Yeah, this girl is smart. A year later, I am fully recovered and now just detoxing to get deeper to deal with my. There you go. I have a strong constitution. I am going to do well. God, thank you, Santel. Thank you for sharing that with me. I tell you what, Cipro, bad boy. How do you stop this kind of crazy? It takes a good judicial system. Uh-oh. Problem. We need to ramp up the constitutional attorneys. I've got a good constitutional attorney if you need one. He's out of Cape Coral, Florida, and he's a good guy. Raymond Mitchell, constitutional attorney. And you need a constitutional attorney. These other attorneys, what's common law? I don't know. What do you mean? You just study books? Dear Dr. Morris, this is Dan. First off, I'd like to say that your videos are inspiring to me. Oh, good. I appreciate that. I love the feedback. Even though I'm getting a little crazy as I get older with them, but it is nice that you have given the world such a valuable. Oh, thanks. Our society today is so plagued with the practice of Western medicine. It's suffocating. And then when they refer to us as alternative, I just want to bite my tongue. Yeah. I want to hold it because that's how these weasels and how government works. They twist the truth and redirect the truth to fit themselves. They weren't here first. God was here first. Come on, let's don't get confused here.
Yeah, it's alternative to be in alignment with nature.
Yeah. Oh, phew. I am a 28-year-old male, and today I am writing you about my knees and hope that you may be able to help me. At the age of 20, I tore the ACL in my left knee while snowboarding. Snow. Ooh. Of course, I could dive into some right now and cool down a little bit. I had ACL reconstruction, and the following year I tore the ACL in my other knee. Well, I'm starting to think here, a pattern here of maybe parathyroid. His connective tissue, tendons, and things aren't as strong as they should be. We're going to go up to the kidneys and adrenals to see the tear from the lymph, but then we might want to consider some parathyroid here. Just thinking out loud here. I retore the ACL on my left knee again, and as it was happening, the same happened to my right. And I told him, yeah. You got to get your kidneys, get your adrenals up. I'd go ahead and get my parathyroid up a little bit there, work on a glandular something, get some kelp going in there, get the bones formula, and again, get these acids out of the body, get your connective tissue, tendons, and bones in repair. That requires a base chemistry focus, which is your alkaline focus. This is what you know to be true here. In the past 8 years of my life, I've been a brutal experience with the condition of my knees. Kidneys, get the kidneys, because kidneys and knees are connected, totally connected. Lose your knee, you're always losing your kidney. You ever see that relationship? Kidneys and knees, always. So fix the kidneys to fix the knees. I have pain, swelling, and stiffness all the time. Now again, pain and swelling. What side of chemistry causes pain and swelling? Acid side. That's right there. Pain and swelling. Acids. Well, what system deals with acids? Blood? No, lymph. So now we're back to the kidneys again. Lower back too. You haven't mentioned lower back here. It's amazing you're not feeling lower back when you're feeling the knees. Or Mr. Prostate. Remember, check your prostate always here. All these things are connected, and then so come here. The next from the knees is the hips. This is nothing ever good comes like this. You've got to get in there and repair these things. And so I suggest the Bones formula. It does have kelp in it. I suggest a parathyroid popper. Be it a glandular or the endocrine gland formula. Definitely work on a raw diet, and if you wanted to not detox too aggressively right now, pump the green drinks, especially high in alfalfa, and put a lot of kelp in there, and then use the Bones formula, but work on the kidneys and adrenals. I do the best I can to exercise them by doing cycling and yoga. I don't think cycling is your best bet. Remember, we talked about this before, and I want you to think about this. Because, again, I think it's another myth or another concept that I don't think holds any water. When you're not moving lymph, and you're exercising and you're cycling on those knees, and you're not moving lymph, you're going to keep damaging it because you're not doing anything to give it time to repair. You're not doing anything to move lymph. So any damage and all the activity and all the acids, the lactic acids from activity, you're not doing anything to move those away. So by cycling, I see you're actually continuing to traumatize tissue that you need to relax and let it heal on you. You know, sometimes you just got to take a break. That's why the word fasting. That's why the word rest. And we need to use those sometimes when we're going after knees, because I think you need to put the cycle away for a while and get your knees taken care of the right way. Yoga, okay, but just be careful on that. This is all about acids. Yoga will help to stretch, and that's better. As it stands now, they've been both reconstructed. That goes all the ligaments. Yes, I know, I'm done.
It's Robert, the tractor guy.
Oh. Can he do it tomorrow?
You want the soil tomorrow too?
Yeah. And if he can come too tomorrow, that'd be good. If he can come.
Oh,
As it stands now, I'm an outdoor guy.
Yeah.
I am not an indoor guy. So I'm having major. I have gardens, but now I'm doing some major landscaping. Oh yeah, I got some big trees. I had a crane out there. One of my trees were at least 300 feet. It looked like in the air. It's like, wow! I look watching a big. I mean, you're talking big mature trees.
Yeah.
The only other person that does that I know, Mutt Lang. He moves big trees. As it stands now, they have both been. Okay, where am I at? Okay, I don't want the past to repeat itself, and I'm sad because, in a way, I feel my youthful years. Get your youth back, man. Now listen, Dan. You can get your youth back. Get yourself focused on the causative problem here. That's your lymph system. Fix your adrenals, fix your kidneys, get your lymph moving, clean up the gut, and then do the things I said to the parathyroid and the bones formula. Take yourself a break from the cycling and get yourself back, and you will have your life back. All right, I hate to break here. Look at how far behind I am. I was going to come in this weekend, but I had so many crews at the house I couldn't get away. That's all YouTube. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I know it is. I know it. I did the iris and I'm backed up. I'm backed up.
That was an awesome video.
Huh?
That was a good video.
You like that?
Yeah,
That's
that's great.
Yeah. I like doing the eyes, but
Yeah.
it's too many eyes coming in to keep up with them, you know. And then I can't even get to the questions when I do the eyes. So we're working it. Just hang in with me. We're working it. We're working it the best we can. But I think you're all understanding and learning and growing. That's what it's all about, you know. So many of you have done so well. Really proud of you all. So I love you all. Thank you very much. I'll write this up. We'll get this on there for you hopefully this morning sometime. And enjoy the day. I'll try to shoot some more through the day if we have an opening or something. But we'll get it this week. Somehow we'll get partly caught up this week. But if you're in serious trouble, you always call here. Do not wait. If you think you're in emergency, go ahead and call here. Don't wait for me to respond on YouTube if you have something seriously wrong. I'll get to them, though. And if I haven't answered your question, I've said again, please resubmit. When I see resubmit, I'll grab it. All right, I love you guys. You take care. We're going to have some fun today, hopefully. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.